My name's Artie, I'm here to help you. This is Stop Sounding Stupid. Today on Stop Sounding Stupid, I'll tell you about pie. If you only watch one of my videos, make sure it's this one. If you can only watch one series, one playlist of SSS, make sure it's this one. I believe if you watch this episode and or this series and work through the progressions as I give them to you, you'll see a drastic change in your communications in just a couple of days, maybe even less. No, seriously, it's that big a deal. We focused on the first part of pie before in the stuffing video, so click somewhere over here or over here, I don't really know, and watch that video first, then come back this way. Pie. Pie is an acronym, and the P stands for pace. I was in a jazz band once, and I played the drums. You will never know fear until you are a drummer in a band and you lose the tempo. It's that important. The other instrumentalists literally take their cue from you, drummer. And as long as you got the drumsticks, you're basically in control of where the band goes, as well as how early or late they get there. That's how conversation works too, drummer. The person talking has the sticks and they're leading everyone else that's within earshot. If you don't have the right pacing, you're going too fast or too slow, it'll be hard for others to keep up with you. Conversely, if you have great pace, they'll follow you like the Pied Piper. And he didn't even play a drum. Speaking of following, it's necessary for the conductor of an orchestra to clearly and definitively communicate the tempo and other elements of performance to the orchestra. Otherwise, how will the orchestra know how they sound to the audience? In quite the same way, while you're speaking, you're the conductor, and your orchestra is the person or people you're speaking to. You want them to be able to follow you through the forest of thought you've got going on, so you've got to be able to guide them. I stands for intonation. So far we've got pace and now intonation, which is defined as the manner by which the voice rises and falls during speech. Let me iron out a few patterns of intonation and then walk you through some tools to ensure that you're matching your intention with your intonation. Rising, falling, the fall rise. And there's also the rise fall, but we'll talk about that later. The music in a movie is probably the most underrated and underappreciated part of the entire experience. It helps the viewer sit in the immersive experience and keeps them there at the edge of their seat. You only really notice the music when it's either superbly crafted or just bad, just terrible bad, terrible bad. When speaking, the same effect exists. People normally only pick up on bad enunciation. As you can tell, the E stands for enunciation, and it's simply defined as saying or pronouncing clearly. If someone doesn't know what's off about what you're saying, I promise you, they know something's off, and they'll have a very uncomfortable feeling. That uncomfortable feeling, they may, you've heard me say it before and I'll say it again, cause you to be or have your credibility damaged. People may question your expertise, and even worse, it could cause people to listen to you less. It's also the difference between saying accurate and accurate. Please don't say that. Don't be that guy. So pie, when done right, pace, intonation, enunciation, has the ability to enable you to direct the conversation, make you a more engaging speaker, and make you look far more credible. So let's work at it a bit. The totality of pie. Here's the sentence. I know exactly what you're talking about. First, pace. I want you to say that sentence quickly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Now say it slowly. I know exactly what you're talking about. Finally, slow down somewhere in the middle of the sentence. You can't get this wrong. You're gonna have to experiment. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, let's add some intonation. For this one, I'll rise at the point I slowed down previously. I know exactly what you're talking about. Play around with that a bit until you find a spot where both the slowdown or pace in the sentence feels good and the rise feels the best when applied to the paced shift. Finally, let's work on that enunciation. You may find that you're slowing down almost unintentionally in other parts of the sentence due to your increased focus on enunciating properly. For now, just be sure to say each word clearly enough so that the words aren't slamming into each other, overlapping, muffled, or simply the wrong way to say the word. I know exactly what you're talking about. Did you fall for it? This happens with a bunch of different words, at least in the English language. I'm sure it happens in other languages, where we start to meld the words together. I'll give you a hint, tip, and a trick now. Oftentimes, people will push the words what, W-H-A-T, and your. Whatever form of your you're talking about, what and your together to create the hybrid, whatcher. By applying some appropriate pace to your sentences, you won't be one of them. Oh, I'll be digging deeper into this pie for a little bit. Stick around and we'll attack each leg of the pie paradigm together. Controlling your own pace, intonation, and enunciation will enable you to be a boss, get your point across, and ultimately, stop you from sounding stupid. This has been another edition of Stop Sounding Stupid. If you liked it, click the like button, subscribe as you see fit, hit the bell if you want to hear more of my voice, and share this with anyone you think it could help. I'd love to have a bunch of subscribers, but I care so much more about interactions and community. So connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or hit me in the comment section below. Till next time, cue that outro music.
Here we go now.